Good evening, and I welcome you to your transformative program, Politics and Beyond. My name is Emmanuel Wilson Jr., the Chief Crusader Against Corruption here in Ghana. If you recall, just a couple of weeks ago, we had a conversation on this platform regarding the Chief Justice, the one that was having some issues. We discussed the pros and cons of whether she is retained or she is taken away. For the benefit of those of you who are not aware of what has happened today, we've received a release from the presidency that has officially communicated to all of us that the Chief Justice has been removed, or she's no more, or the former Chief Justice now, that's Gertrude Tukono, is no more the Chief Justice of Ghana. So that is an information the platform wants to bring to you. As usual, you can get interactive with us using our social media platforms as exhibited on the screen. And I also entreat you to log in or log on to our YouTube channel and subscribe. Share the page with others and encourage others to also subscribe. When you do that, you'll be able to retrieve our previous episodes, and then you can go over them and then get yourself enlightened. Remember, this is the only platform that helps us shape the future of this country for the benefits of the next generation, if not for ourselves. Let me use this very moment to appreciate all the military officers that I encountered some days back when I visited the military zone. I was so amazed to know that we have such a wonderful number of military officers who are so glued to this program and to this platform anytime we come on air. So we want to appreciate each and every one of you for committing to be part of this program. And I'm appreciating you because very soon we'll be celebrating our 2 years anniversary, and that's going to be somewhere next month. And so as the days and the weeks unfold, we'll be bringing to your attention what we'll be doing with this platform, a platform that you have helped shaped and you have helped made it a success over this past 2 years. This evening, as always, the conversation is going to be interactive and educative, but we are going to have a focus on Akwatia. Remember, tomorrow is the by-election. Those of you who are not aware, we are having a by-election tomorrow, and it's taking place at Akwatia. And we are doing that because of the demise of the one that was elected during the last general election. That was the 2024 general election. So the topic for this evening's conversation is the battle for the base. Who owns Akwatia? And that's the question we are asking ourselves. We are looking at the battle for the base, and we are asking ourselves, who really owns Akwatia? I'll give you a brief background of Akwatia as a constituency. As I indicated, we have the by-election taking place tomorrow, and the by-election is taking place just because the one who was elected the past election, that was the 2024 general election, Ernest Yakumi, he passed away on July 7th, 2025. And if we want to be obedient to Article 1125 of the 92 Constitution, we are mandated to fill in any vacuum within 60 days. And so that is what the Electoral Commission is fulfilling. And that is why it gave birth to the date known as September 7th being tomorrow, September 2nd being tomorrow, the day where we are going to have the official polling, activities. Since 92, being the Fourth Republic to date, if you look on the screen, you will see that the seat has been a flipping kind of seat. In the year 92, obviously the NDC had it, and it was because NPP and other political parties boycotted the 92 elections, so if you remember. And so the NDC automatically had it. We had Gilbert Ejay being the one, or the first ever MP of the Fourth Republic in Akwatia. Then came 96. Then 96, the seat was retained by the NDC. But in the year 2000 and 2004, it moved to the MPP. The same way in the year 2008, Kofi Asare, after having some reruns of some of the polling stations, emerged the victor. And so the MPP also got it. From 2008 to 2012, that is the next election after the 2008, the seat went back to the NDC. My own brother, Baba Jamal Mohammed Ahmed, as we call him, was the one who took over in the year 2012. Then 2016, it moved from the NDC to the MPP. A lady that became literally a household name. I mean, her name became a household name. She's Mercy Edujemfi, but we were all referring to her as Amase. She took over from Baba Jama. That was in the 2016 general elections. Then the 2020 general elections, Henry Yadomboache took over from Amase. Now that was in the the NDC candidate. He took over, and so you can see the trend. 1992 NDC, 96 NDC, 2000, 2004, 2008 MPP, 2012 NDC, 2016 MPP, 2020 NDC, and then the 2024 election, we had the seat going back to the MPP, and that was NS Yakumi, now the late. If you analyze this table very well, this is what it tells us, or the highlight that you need to know. 92, 2004, it was clear that, the communication was as though the NDC was gaining foot in the constituency. So 92, 96, they made it kind of a stronghold, and they were like, okay, that is our stronghold. We've been able to take over. But 2000, the MPP gained strength and took over. 2000, 2004, 2008, the MPP won. So the MPP also communicated to us that what was becoming the MPP's stronghold. And then all of a sudden, it became a swing situation. In the year 2012, the NDC reclaimed the seats. But this time, when the 2012 came and the NDC took over the seats, we realized that right from 2012 till date, it has become a swing dynamic. So 2012, NDC took over. 2016, MPP took over. 2020, NDC took over. 2024, we had the NPP also taking over. And so it moved from becoming a stronghold of any of the two political parties to now becoming a swing. Literally, no one is able to hold it for more than one term. And that started from the year 2012. Unfortunately, 2024, where the MPP took over, there were some challenges, just like in the case of Baba Jama, and I think proud to Baba Jama, so there were some legal challenges and the rest. But 2024, after all the battles and the rest, the Supreme Court later cleared the path for NS Kumi. He became the president. He became the MP. You remember, he was once held in contempt before finally the Supreme Court cleared him. Unfortunately, after he was cleared, he was in power, or he was in office for a period, and then in the month of July 2025, he passed on. This is the interpretation. It is clear that Akwatia stands out as a swing constituency, and it moves between the NDC and the MPP. And that is it. There's no two ways about that. The frequent shift in party control, 2000, 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, 2024, it clearly makes it a tactical focal point in parliamentary battles. And that is also a fact. It's something that we cannot deny. There's an interesting thing. As we were getting closer to the by-election, which is tomorrow, a poll came, and now, as a result of what happened in the year 2024 general elections, it looks like Global Info Analytics has become one of the authoritative voices when it comes to prediction. Between August 1st and 2nd, Global Info Analytics came up with a survey, and this was the result. MPP candidate was leading, and I'm making reference to tomorrow's by-election. MPP candidate was leading, 49.7% support. NDC candidate, 43.8% support. And the others had 6.5%. Interestingly, within the same month of August, just about 3 or so weeks after the first survey, the periods of 27th and 28th, they came back giving us another analysis or survey. And this time, the result says that the NDC candidate was leading by 53%, as against the MPP's Solomon Esumadu. We popularly refer to him as Owo, and Owo because his company's name, or the name of the company that he is the CEO of, is known as Owo Mining Company. So Owo is now having 47%. And this is as at 27th, 28th of August 2025. It tells me also that if things could change within some few weeks, then from 27th, 28th to today or tomorrow, it is also possible that something can happen. It reinforces the fact that Akwatia constituency really doesn't belong to anyone. But we are asking ourselves a simple question. Who owns Akwatia constituency? Who do we think will emerge as the victor tomorrow? The NDC has an overwhelming majority. The MPP is struggling with about 80-something seats in parliament. Do they need it? And if they do, what will be the significant outcome? Should the NDC also go for it and add it to their overwhelming supermajority that they have in parliament? If they do, what is going to be the significant outcome of it? And that is what we are going to have a conversation on this evening. I'm going to take a short commercial break, and when I come back, I'm going to introduce to you the guests that we have for this evening's conversation. But even before we take the break, even before we come back to have the conversation, you can send in your comments as you've always been doing. You can send in your views and your questions. The question we are asking is, who owns Akwatia? And what makes you think whoever you think owns Akwatia should win? Share your views using the WhatsApp platform as exhibited on the screen. I'll be right back.
If I cry na menyisika, edia ye mefui.
Ehifa pa na menya bosia, edia tre medwuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre, miye bosia ato taxi fufu. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yema mwakwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye wonhyehyɛ ahodo bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, ekuokuro bosia, susu account, ene da so wo savings account, me bada chain savings account, ene de keka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 03422919896. Na won so wetumi aka sɛ
Suhum Rural Bank. Ama ene mayeka owner.
Suhum Rural Bank. Enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
Every human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. You are still with your transformative program, Politics and Beyond. And I'm still your host, Emmanuel Wilson Jr. My name hasn't changed yet. I don't think it will change, but I'm still Emmanuel Wilson Jr., the chief crusader against corruption. This evening, we have a guest that needs no introduction. A guest who is one of us. When I make reference to one of us, I'm talking about the platform, Politics and Beyond. A person I will confidently describe as a brother. And I'm making reference to the political governance and public sector reform aspect, who is also a lecturer with the University of Ghana. And he is also an executive committee member of Crusaders Against Corruption Ghana. And I'm making reference to Dr. Daniel Appiah. Doc, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Thank you very much.
This year, have you been here?
Now we've entered September.
Yes.
I don't remember. I think the last time I came, we were here to say Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas.
Whoa, I think so. I think so. Hey, anyway, welcome. Welcome. It's been long. That's why we've missed you so much. But I hope all is well.
All is well.
Doc,
greetings from my dear wife.
That's right.
Abigail.
That's right. Exactly. Thank you so much, Madam Abigail. Thank you. We are here discussing Akwatia.
Right.
We are asking ourselves a simple question. Who really owns Akwatia? And that is probably the first question I'll ask you.
I think that should be a simple one. Who owns it? Certainly Chief Crusaders. No. If you don't own it, then I think, the landlord of the area. I think
should be the owner of it.
Baba Jamal.
Baba Jamal will be the one
who contested elections 5 times there. He made the place very, very popular.
I agree. I think at a point, you could only associate Baba Jama to Akwatia. I mean, Baba Jama, Akwatia, and that is it. That's really an interesting one. That's true. But it's quite interesting because if you look at the statistics that we've gone through, it is very clear. 92, 96 into 2000, the communication that was coming out was that, well, it was a stronghold of the NDC. Then we moved into the 2000 elections, 2004, 2008. MPP took charge. So we're like, okay, now it is becoming the stronghold of the MPP. And then right after 2008 general election, 2012, the people of Akwatia decided that, no, we don't want anyone to take charge of us. We'll give it to NDC today. We'll give it to MPP tomorrow. The following day, we'll give it to NDC. The next day, we'll give it to MPP. And they've been very consistent with the spirit of swinging all the way till now.
From tree to tree.
I'm telling you, moving from tree to tree. What do you think will inform electorates to decide? I don't believe that they will sit down and decide among themselves that as a constituency, whether NDC or MPP, we want to give it to this particular group of political party, and then the next one we'll give it to another one. But what makes you, what do you think goes through the thinking of these people in the constituency?
Right. So I think coming back to the question of who owns it, as you rightly stated, since 2008, it's a constituency that has continued to move from one political party to the next. And from my little analysis, I think one of the major reasons why we see this trend is that Akwatia, as we know, is a diamond enclave.
That's right.
So the local economy there revolves around the diamond industry.
Right.
And Ghana, we used to have a diamond company owned by government called the Ghana Consolidated Diamond Company.
That's true.
And then it was divested somewhere in 1989, given to a private company that could not actually make its work. And it was given to another company. It also didn't work. So being a diamond hub and the company drawing people in there, once the diamond company started going down, it created, I think, widespread poverty within that area. And so the people have become economically disappointed, looking forward to some sort of a savior.
Right.
Some quick kind of wins. And so within the diamond sector, people, because of the nature of the quick returns from diamond and then all other mining kind of businesses, people are very, very impatient at the end of the day. So if they vote for you today and then tomorrow they don't see you manifesting the kind of promises that you promised them, then the next day they turn to the other party to vote because of the nature of the economy. And so that has largely, I think, driven the kind of pattern that we've seen so far. And that pattern will continue until the government or whoever is able to partner the mining businesses there to actually revamp the mining sector there, of course, to focus on more legitimate kind of mining operations. But until then, we see the swing not even just across political parties, even within the political parties themselves.
That's true.
During the period when NPP actually had the seat 3 times, it wasn't the same member of parliament.
Definitely, that's true.
Who was there three consecutive times. And we've seen that trend also within the NDC. Today, NDC candidate is there. You go to parliament, the next day, another parliamentary candidate, comes. And so the major reason accounting for this swing really is the nature of the economy there, the decline of the state-run diamond company, and then leading to that kind of economic, despair among many people who are looking for some kind of an economic savior, So that is
that's really, really an interesting one to know. And to add to what you said, what is quite interesting is the fact that Henry Boakye, the NDC former candidate, or the 2020 candidate, 2024 actually candidates, he was the incumbent.
Yeah.
So he was in parliament in the year 2020, from 2020 to 2024.
Right.
He contested again and he lost to the late NSC Akume. It was just logical. And people were actually advocating for that or expecting that it would be an automatic thing. That, okay, he was our incumbent MP. He actually contested the last election. Yeah. And so if there's a by-election, he should be the automatic person. But interestingly, they went for primaries or to primaries, and then he lost. And you see, the interesting thing is he didn't even lose, coming second. He was actually third.
The last.
That's right. So they took him off. So I understand. But the other one you mentioned, which is of interest, has to do with the promise. So the people, they don't really have patience. Yeah. So if you promise them A, B, C, and you are not able to deliver, they'll quickly take you out and then bring someone in. And that brings me to the kind of messages that is currently ongoing, especially in Akwatia. Yeah. If you go there, the NPP's main campaign message is that, well, our late Ernest Kumi died out of stress. And he died out of stress because the NDC decided to stress him, take him to court and all that. Yeah. And so vote for our new candidate. In other words, they are seeking for sympathy votes. Then the NDC, when you go to them, they are telling the electorate, well, we are in government. We control the developmental projects. So vote for our candidate so that we'll bring you development. We know, and you know, that the core mandates and duties of parliamentarians is to ensure that they enact laws, to serve as supervisors, checks on the other arms of government, especially the executive. And so if you are telling delegates or people who are going to vote, electorate this, without even hitting 1% on the capabilities of the candidates, are we sure we are in for something good?
Right. Watson, let me start from the mandate of a member of parliament.
Right.
A member of parliament is first and foremost the ambassador who has been elected by the people to champion their development. Both at the local and then at the national level. I say local because that is why the member of parliament is also made a member of the assembly.
Yes.
Of course, but without voting rights.
Yes.
And so as a member of parliament, you are not only to come to Accra, to come in and sit in parliament and then make the laws, but as a leader, you are expected to use your leadership influence to get businesses, to get capital, to bring, partners who are in Accra and other parts of the world to come to your constituency to develop the area. And so when a member of parliament is elected and then the person insists that my job is to sit in Accra and make laws, and then the job of development is the one for the district assembly, then it begs the question as to why are you a member of the district assembly or a municipal or metropolitan assembly? You are there among the executives there to also contribute to development projects, to shape development policies, and then make sure that you lobby government, you lobby business interests, both at the national level and then at the global level, to bring development to your local level. And so the job of the electorate is to elect someone who they believe is capable of performing this kind of dual mandate. Although I think that much of the conversation has been on the fact that MPs, their job is to be in parliament and then make the laws. But if we look at the structure of our system of government, certainly the MP is not only assigned to parliament to make laws, but also to be a member at the assembly to also influence development and then to shape development processes. And so we have to look at this particular two sides of the coin. And so whichever party is able to come up with a candidate who the people believe will be able to first and foremost help them to transform their local economy. And then second, in fact, if you are sitting in Accra making laws, I bet that even 10% or 5% of the people don't follow what you are doing in Accra. What they care about is what are you bringing from Accra to the local economy. So the Accra job, that is lawmaking, is very, very important. But for the majority of the people, it is not the lawmaking activities or responsibility in parliament that they are looking at. But what are you bringing from Accra? What are you bringing from the seats of government? What are you bringing to the local economy when they sent you to Accra? And so every member of parliament should be able to look at these two dynamics. So that's why when sometimes I get the opportunity to go to parliament and speak to MPs, one thing that I tell them is that when the budget, for instance, is being presented, you have to look at the various sectors, the various organizations, and then look at what are they saying about your constituency. So if you go and then sit in parliament and you are not looking at the various kind of sectors, organizations, what they are saying about your constituency, what kind of development they are going to promote, and you are saying, I'm going to make laws, I sit there to make laws, but you are not interested in the details of the budget, then I think you are not actually performing your holistic mandate.
It's sad. I mean, I understand you perfectly, but just as we know that the core mandate of the parliament, core mandate of parliament, and by extension parliamentarians, is to enact laws. It looks like over the past years, we have successfully moved them to the level where they've now become developmental agencies. And so their core mandate seems to be going off. And that is why mostly, and this, I have had the opportunity of listening to the Speaker of Parliament complaining about it, that as absenteeism in Parliament has become something alarming. And it is because when you have the chance again to talk to some of the parliamentarians, they'll be like, look, if I sit here without going out to go and lobby for development, the next election, I may not come back. And so if that is that, who really does the core duties and works of Parliament? And that is what is going to, it's really affecting us as a country, our governance. It is really affecting us. Before you come in on that, there's a message here that came from Alhaji Gomda, and I'll read that one. He says that in Ghana, efficiency of an MP is not measured by their contributions in the House, but by the number of persons they help with jobs and the development projects they attract for the electoral area.
Excellent.
But that is not what is supposed to be.
I think it wasn't. The point is that you have to ask yourself, what is the focus of the laws that the MPs are making? If you go there and you make laws that do not promote development, then you have failed. So the end game of the laws that the MPs are supposed to make is laws that will promote development. that will improve the well-being of the people. Whether it is laws on education, it is laws on health, whether they are looking at the budget, whether they are interrogating who has performed his or her job or not performed his or her job. The underlying criteria of assessment is whether all the laws, the programs, the projects that they have approved is actually promoting development. And those laws, programs, and then policies that they have approved, they are not sitting in Accra. They have been distributed across the country.
Right.
And so it is the duty of the Member of Parliament to make sure that the laws that are being approved, the laws that are being made, for instance, a law to deal with witchcraft. If I have a problem in my constituency about witchcraft or people being accused of being witches and then being hunted, are we making laws that will deal with that particular kind of problem? If we are going to approve some kind of a development grant with another country or with an international development agency, where is the money actually going? Is my constituency also getting part of the money? And so it is not just a matter of sitting there and then making to look, but you need to critically analyze where the money is actually going, where the resources are being distributed, where it is being pushed left, right, and center. If you don't do that, then at the end of the day, that means that you are failing your job. So the underlying thing is making sure that laws, policies, programs, projects, grants, loans, all those things that have been approved by the House, you to your constituency has also got a share at the end of the day. Because you have 276 constituencies. Everyone is fighting for a share.
That's right.
And so you also have to make sure that you fight for a share. And then the living conditions of your people are actually improved.
Well, this debate or this conversation is a conversation I want us to continue on another day. Because honestly speaking, it looks like we are missing or we are not allowing Parliament to behave the way they ought to behave. Reducing them to just developmental agencies is not helping us. And that's why the executive and sometimes the judiciary, they end up doing their own things without having strict supervision from Parliament.
I think you have a good point there, that at the end of the day, we need to strengthen the capacity of Parliament to be able to make very good laws that will advance the development of the country. But once again, whatever laws that they make, if we are to assess whether or not they have achieved their goals, we need to look at the development that they're able to achieve for the country as a whole and then for various areas of the country. I mean, that should be the baseline. Otherwise, we will end up with sometimes bad laws that have been made that do not promote development but undermine development.
Doug, still on the message.
Right.
You've given, or we've gone through the background of the constituency. What are some of the messages? Of course, it is late now, but what message you think the electorates will be interested in hearing that will convince them?
Very good issue that you've raised. You know, as we were talking, I was also, before we came, I was looking at the kind of development projects that the Akwatia District Assembly, called the Denchembo District Assembly, that they've highlighted on their site. And you can see construction of classroom blocks, the building of chiefs compounds, the building of markets, the construction of roads, building of KV, building of WCs, and then water hole. I mean, mechanized water. For every mining area, at least across the length and breadth of Ghana, is now faced with water challenges.
That's true.
And everywhere they are faced with also health kind of issues. And these are the things that they have highlighted on the Assembly's website. And so you can see many development projects with pictures that they have put there. The message that this one should send is that this is the core concern of the people at the end of the day. And so if you are a candidate and you don't focus on helping the local economy, the local constituency to be able to achieve their development priorities, then you will not be able to drum home your message. And so at the core of the message should be that if you elect me, I will be able to partner with the various development actors, including the district assembly, including the central government, to be able to deliver the development projects that you have come to sit at the assembly to actually plan and then to prioritize. And so it is very important that the candidates should first and foremost look at what the people have gone to the assembly to sit and then to plan as their priorities that they really want to achieve. And those are the things that they have put on their platforms. The construction of schools, the roads, boreholes, and then health facilities, and then markets. Because as I said, this is an economy that was driven by the diamond industry. And so it has brought many people to that area. And so trade is one area that is very, very important to the people. And so that now ties into the discussion that we were having not long ago, that for the majority of the people, this is the first and foremost thing that they will be looking at, and not really your ability to make the fine kind of laws in parliament. Laws are very, very important there. But whoever is able to partner the people to execute this kind of project will be someone that they will really trust. And so for the people at the end of the day, and this is also an area where they're able to attract a lot of resources. I was going through, for instance, the ability of the assemblies to mobilize internal resources from the people for development. And you won't believe it, that the Denchembo District Assembly, it is not a municipal assembly, it is a district assembly. But it is able to mobilize, or it was able to mobilize in last year, over 1.3 million Ghana cedis as IGF. So it is one of the few districts
that's interesting
that is able to mobilize more than 1 million Ghana cedis for development. And so as a candidate, you should be able to come out with some kind of strategy, some kind of a development plan, that if you elect me, I'll be able to partner you to use this money that is coming in. And recently, we've seen the government also now increasing the share of the district assembly's common fund. So over a period of 1 year, if the amount that was released recently by the government, if it is sustained, there are over 800,000 Ghana cedis. Over a period of 1 year, that is 4 quarters, you are getting then more than 2 million Ghana cedis. More than 2 million plus more than 1 million, you are getting about 5 million Ghana cedis within a year. And so as a candidate, you should be able to convince the people that, look, every year this is how much we are going to get. And these are the kind of plans and then projects that I have for you at the end of the day. And on top of that, I will be able to also help to restructure the economy, to build the collapsed mining sector, and then to make sure that as the government is also trying to restructure the issue of galamsey or deal with galamsey. I know that this area, there's a lot of galamsey businesses there, but I will help you to restructure it so that it will become more legitimate and you'll be able to embark on a more sustainable mining kind of activities. These are the core issues on the ground.
On the ground, that's also interesting. Now that we have the message, we obviously need the messenger, and that is where the candidates comes in.
Yes.
And so, yes, it's quite interesting. Over the past period, the past days, you hear the NDC coming up with their message, the MPP coming up with their message. Little is said about their messengers. That's their candidates. I want us to move to the abilities, the personalities of the two. The NDC candidate, the MPP candidate. Obviously, one of them will come out. So one of them will be the representative as far as Akwatia constituency is concerned.
Good.
I want us to start from when they were both selected and elected. So the NDC did an election, the MPP did a selection. For the benefit of our viewers, I want us to just spend a minute or two going through how these two candidates were selected, one selected and the other one elected. If we can have it on the screen for our viewers. So this is the MPP, how they got their candidates.
Our MP for Akwatia passed on, and the EC has also indicated that there will be a by-elections in Akwatia. For that matter, the New Patriotic Party must also have a candidate. The National Council of the Party set up a committee, and we were tasked to find out who could be our candidate, or whether we will do primaries or not. So the team went to Akwatia in the constituency, had engagement, a lot of engagement with the grassroots, electoral area coordinators, polling station officers, chiefs, opinion leaders, and majority of the people said that for primaries, we should take it out. We shouldn't conduct primaries in Akwatia. And that's exactly what we followed. And then now comes to how we will get a suitable candidate. We commissioned a search, we commissioned a research. People went into the constituency and gave them all the names that had expressed interest. In this case, Honorable Amase, Lawyer Uredu, Kwame Asumedu, Daniel Nyami, Osei Apia. And we gave them these names to go into the constituency, in the villages, in the towns, to throw out these names, to come back and report to us who the suitable person could be. And to cut a long story short, when it came, the party saw that they've settled on Kwame Asumedu Solomon. And so we reported back to council, and council also gave us the go-ahead to engage further and to follow the due process to do a popular acclamation for Kwame Asumedu in the constituency. Today marks the official announcement of Kwame Asumedu as our candidate for the Akwatia constituency by elections. So I thank you all. And as you can see, all the aspirants came, and they've also pledged their support to Kwame Asumedu in the constituency.
1,053. At the end of the elections, 975 voters voted. Now the results. Rejected ballot 3. Candidate Bernard Bediako Blade had 380 votes. Candidate Erasmus Koni Ali had 366 votes. Candidate Henry Yadum Wache had 226 votes. So total valid votes were 972. Rejected ballot papers were 3. And total vote cast for today's elections is 975. Now I invite candidate Bernard Bediakubedu to come here. For commission, I declare Mr. Bernard Bediakubedu as candidate-elect for the NDC for the Akwatia Parliamentary by-elections.
All right, so Doc, it is so clear. We had two different ways and forms of selecting and electing.
Yeah.
Obviously, constitutionally, none is wrong. I mean, they are both right.
Right.
You can select, you can elect.
Yeah.
But looking at how crucial or dynamic Akwatia electorates are, or the constituency is, do you think the selection mode versus the election mode, which of them will, convince the people that indeed they were part of the process?
This
I know.
A very interesting kind of question. When I look at the two modes,
yes,
I would describe the election mode as the Western mode of democracy.
Right.
And then the selection mode based on consensus as the African mode of democracy. Because before the ballot box came, the selection on the basis of consensus, if you have read the NPP committee's report, they went to talk to the chiefs, they went to talk to opinion
leaders,
they talked to various kind of interest groups, and then they arrive at the candidates that they have actually selected. And after the selection, what we have not seen is infighting among those who were not selected.
Okay.
So, which means that to some extent, I think that they've gotten their candidates right. And then the NDC one, in fact, when they started, I was also of the view that why don't you maintain the old parliamentary, aspirant?
Yes.
Why do you have to go for another election? And others like I think Baba Jamal, Honorable Baba Jamal, they also express the same kind of sentiment.
Right, yeah.
But the outcome of the election appeared to have proven the party right, because after the election, now a member of or someone who has been a member of parliament before, and then having lost the 2024 elections, now you were competing with two other people, and then you could only garner 21% of the vote, which means that the strength of his popularity was very low at the end of the day. So they had also tested the ground, just like perhaps the NPP. They had also listened to people, and then they had made the decision that the best way to settle the differences, or to settle the issues over who should actually represent them, was to go for an election, right? Because maybe they could not reach an agreement in terms of consensus. And so having come out the last of the three contestants, actually to some extent proves that, he is the least popular among the three candidates. So I think that the NDC also then got it right by using the mechanism that they used, because the one who won, at the end of the day, not having been a member of parliament before, but coming up on tops, means that I think the mechanism that they use is also appropriate.
That's right. So, Doc, I'll come back to you, because I want us to look at one funny thing going on in the constituency, and that has to do with the NDC saying that, well, our candidate, he's a lawyer, and so when you elect him, and we are talking about the capabilities,
right? When
you elect him, he's going to formulate laws for you. He'll go to parliament and help you out, formulate laws. In fact, using their words, when he goes to parliament, he can talk. That's what he said.
Right.
The MPP says that our candidate is a miner. He mines, and he has a company. He will employ all of you. In fact, the candidate himself is reported to have said that he is going to ensure that he will give a lot of land, consignments or concessions to individuals who want to go into mining. So that battle is there. I don't know which of them will really sell, but inviting or bringing in our viewers. This one says, good evening, Mr. Wilson. I'm Solomon Jagri from Kunsu. Why is NPP crying? Article 146 has spoken, nothing more, nothing less. What the law can do in Ghana does not exist. My regard to Honorable Abu Sadiq, who is the DCE for Ahafo and North South West. Okay. This one says, Mr. Wilson, good evening. I'm Dominic from Kade. The removal of the Chief Justice is long overdue, but I congratulate the committee for establishing stated misbehaviors. This one says, NDC owns Akwatia, and this is coming from Atimbila Nashiru from Boko, town called Yakut. Okay, Yakut. This one says, NDC will win tomorrow's election, and this is from Togbi Ahaji. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. The removal of the Chief Justice should serve as a great lesson to every Ghanaian that when you gain power or are in any public office, don't ever think you are indispensable. Work the way your job demands you with no favor or fear for the good of the country. This one says, good evening, Mr. Wilson. I think the NDC people are ruling Akwatia because tomorrow's by-election will be quite difficult, but not that much. And who will win, no one knows until tomorrow also. We are praying for peace. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Wilson, and good evening to XYZ crew members. Please, there's a need for the NDC candidate, Lawyer Bernard, to be voted for by the Akwatia constituents, as he stands the chance of securing more developmental projects for that constituency. And this coming from Samson Afote Achi from Nungwa Kruwo. NDC will win Akwatia election. And this message is from Winfred Amegapo at Accra. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. I'm watching live from Cape Coast. I wish to remind the Minister of Employment and Labor to consider a reset in private sector, especially schools and companies. It appears most Ghanaians suffering are under these sectors due to poor salary and lack of job sustainability and welfare. We are speaking based on research conducted this year. Thank you. All right, thank you. You didn't add your name. This one says, good evening, Mr. Wilson. This is Danny from Osu. Baumia was saying we should leave that election for the MPP because NDC frustrated the late MP to die. But they are lying. What have they not done to Honorable Kwesen? That's the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs anyway. So I'll come back. But Doc, that is it. The question is, with these two individuals and their backgrounds, which of them, and with all that you have said, which of them stands a better chance of becoming a good messenger?
You know, they are emphasizing two sides of a coin that is needed to buy, you know, what the voters need. What I mean is that the voters are looking for someone who will be very effective in presenting the problems and then challenges that are confronting them within the Akwatia constituency. Right. And one of them, or a key problem that they face, is the mining problem in there. And so it is important to have a candidate who will be very effective, very influential in not just presenting the problems and challenges being faced by the people within the mining enclave there, but will also be able to attract the right kind of policies from Accra to the Akwatia constituency to be implemented to help the people deal with the challenges and problems that they are facing. As one of the outcomes of the mining, or the offshoots of the mining problem, is water shortages and then water problem. So it is not just a matter of your ability to employ people to work in the mining sector or to work in a mining company, but also your ability to attract the resources to solve other challenges like the water kind of crisis. Everywhere you find illegal mining out there, the use of chemicals, that is also creating some kind of health kind of problems for the people. To what extent will you be able to attract resources to the health sector out there to help the people to manage the crisis that they are facing? And so there is a need for a candidate who can perform both the external functions of influencing government, attracting resources to the area, and at the same time to be able to play the local game of leading the people to come with the right kind of policies and programs to deal with their problems. Not just that, but we all know the challenge of illegal mining now requires alternative livelihoods. And to be able to do that, you should be able to influence government to pour in a lot of resources there to create alternative livelihoods for the people. And so it is not just a matter of, I am a businessman, I am in a mining company, I'll be able to recruit you into the mining kind of company. After all, how many people? This is not Anglo Gold Ashanti that we are talking about. It's a small mining firm that will not be able to recruit more than 1,000, 2,000 kind of people. And so the voters will have to look beyond that and then look at who will be able to perform the two roles, both at the national level as well as the local level. And so if the NDC candidate says, well, I am a lawyer, I will be able to speak your mind for you, I think he is emphasizing something that is very important to the voters. If the NPP candidate says, look, I am also a businessman and I will be able to employ you into a mining company, he is emphasizing something that is of importance to the people in terms of the search for jobs, sustainable jobs at the end of the day. And so each candidate should be able to marry the two. Because at the end of the day, if you are voted for, you just can't sit out there at Akwatia and say, I'm a businessman, I'm recruiting you into a mining firm, and that's it. No, because government is certainly going to come forward with many programs and projects to deal with the mining sector, to improve lives in the mining sector, to create alternative livelihoods. If you are not able to effectively lobby government and then bring in much of the resources out there, you will not be able to achieve much for the people out there. And so it is very important that both candidates should look at the two sides of the coin, and then the voters should also look at the two sides of the coin and ask themselves, which of these two will be able to perform the dual roles that we actually expect the person to perform.
I was looking at the previous votes, and I was trying to connect or get the relationship between the member of parliament and the government of the day.
Right. But
I realized that it's a bit funny. Akwatia is really a bit funny. 2008, MPP won the seats. Yes, MPP was in office, right? No, 2008 was NDC. NDC was in office. That's Atamels. He was in office.
Yes.
Yeah. But then MPP won the seats. 2012, NDC was in office. NDC won the seats. 2016, MPP in office. MPP won the seats. 2020, MPP in office. NDC won the seats. 2024, NDC in office. MPP won the seats. That's the 2024 election. Right. So it is clear that the seat is not necessarily won based on the party that is in power. So the fact that your party is in power is not really an automatic thing, as far as Akwatia is concerned.
Yes.
And it's really an interesting one. I mean, but Doug, now I want us to dwell a bit on the issue of peaceful election.
Right.
And I want us to bring this in before we bring the curtain to or the show to an end, because just the last it wasn't even a by-election, a rerun.
Yeah.
The kind of violence that we recorded, it wasn't the best. And I'm making reference to Ablikuma North.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best at all.
Yeah.
What do you think will happen with regards to we having a smooth, peaceful election tomorrow?
I think this is a matter of concern. But if we are also guided by history, certainly the history of elections in Akwatia has not always been very peaceful.
Yeah.
To the extent
almost
that,
all the time.
Yes. In 2008, we had to do a rerun of the elections for 6 polling stations due to violence and then all that. And at least the positive thing that maybe is emerging from the recent rerun is the fact that if you go out there, organize people to go and then cause mayhem, whether you are within the government or you belong to the ruling party or you belong to opposition, they will certainly find you.
That's true.
And then they will put you at the law court.
That's
and then
true.
They will try you.
Yeah.
So that is a positive thing. So whoever has got in mind that for me, maybe I am part of the ruling party, or maybe I am tied to some high people out there in the opposition, I can organize boys to go and then cause some kind of chaos out there, the law will certainly find you at the end of the day. So it is a new dawn. And so the police should certainly do their job without fear or favor, by certainly standing on the recent court rulings and then the fines, although some of us wish that those who were fined from the recent elections, those who were tried, they should have been given a stiffer, harsher kind of punishment. But at least a loaf in one hand is better than nothing at all. And so that is at least a platform that has been created that's going forward. And I believe that the judiciary has also listened to the sentiments of the public. And so going forward, whoever engages in such acts of violence like that is certainly going to receive a harsher kind of punishment. So it is very important that the political players should measure themselves, and then they should not think that they can go and then cause any chaos or mayhem and then go scot-free. And I'm happy to see that the police have also been doing some kind of community walks and then community, I think whatever they call it, but they've been walking from one community to the next to try and then announce their presence to the people. And so that is a good thing for them to have done. So we encourage them to stand up and then make sure that the law actually takes its effect. After all, the law is the law.
The law is the law. Doc, in line with that, there are those who have made the argument that even the presence the huge presence or significant presence of the police will or may end up intimidating electorates, and we may end up not having a high turnout.
I disagree, because if I'm going to vote and I look at the violence that erupted in by-elections in recent times, and I do not see a lot of security presence on the street, I will not go at all. But if I see a lot of policemen on the street, I will feel confident that I am protected. And so anyone who is calling for the withdrawal or the reduction of police presence, I think will be making a mistake at the end of the day. Because people feel confidence to go about their duties, to go and then vote on the grounds that they feel safe to go and then perform their constitutional and then civic kind of duties. And so the presence of the police out there will rather, create confidence among the voters. Because as we all know, looking at the history of Akwatia, you need a lot of police presence and visibility to do that.
Interestingly, I had a conversation with someone today who is from Akwatia. I mean, he is there. And I asked him this same question. And he said, boss, we citizens of Akwatia, we are very used to this. And it was kind of funny, but yes, because I mean, if you know the stories and the history of Akwatia, you know that I mean, when it comes to elections, obviously, unless you are very new there, but you should be used to this kind of things.
Right,
Doc, I'll come back to you for your final words, but let me take the next segment or the next part of this, the messages coming from our viewers. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. Sometimes we the people who send or vote for a person to go to parliament as a member of parliament to represent us and bring development to constituency are also to be blamed. Why? Because there are some parliamentarians who are doing barely nothing in the constituency, but they are still in parliament because of the way we do politics in this country. I will follow this person's syndrome because he or she is my party member. Whether the person brings something good to the constituency or not, we should stop this kind of politics in the country. And this is coming from Aaron Bebe Sukura. Okay. Mr. Wilson, this is a nice program. God bless you guys. I'm really enjoying Dr. Pia. NDC is winning. And my name is Solomon Boateng from Kumasi. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. Akwatia is green already. Okay. Good evening. Please tell Dr. Apia to come to the show every quarter. We love his expressions and in-depth analysis. Doc, this is a direct message. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. I'm calling. Okay, you are testing from Kumasi. NDC will win this election, inshallah. Okay, good evening, Mr. Wilson. We in the NDC are only putting into practice what the MPP taught us. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that. And this one, so I'll read the last part of your message. This one is coming from Baba from Pusiga. Okay. This is Jam Dixon. NDC is winning the elections in Akwatia. Also, I wish Ankuma David a better luck next time. All right. Good evening, TVXYZ members. NDC will win the polls hands down coming tomorrow by election. And this is Matthew from Tampani in the Upper East region. People of Akwatia know what they want, so they will go for NDC come tomorrow. And this is coming from Michael Togbi Ahajo from Dansuman. My name is Abdul Ganu from Dominase. NDC is going to win the election hands down by tomorrow. Akwatia citizens will vote for improvements. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. NDC is taking Kintampo North for granted. We have voted for NDC since 92, but nothing to show, and you are not adding your name. A number of messages, but I am sure we will continue the conversation online. But Doc, these are the messages, comments coming. It looks like a lot of people have confidence that tomorrow NDC will be the one owning Akwatia. Well, I'm sure MPP camp will also say something different, that they are going to own it. But truly, before you even add your last words, what is so significant about Akwatia Parliament? I mean, the seats. If it goes to NDC, what will be the significance? Again, I know I have asked this question. If it goes to the MPP, what will be the significance? Why is it that if NDC lose, they are not going to have any effect as far as their number in parliament is concerned? If MPP loses, I don't see the difference it will make as far as their number in parliament is concerned. So really, does it really care who owns Akwatia?
It does. Akwatia, the outcome will be very significant for both parties. For the NPP, if the NPP is not able to win, it will add to their woes, and it will also solidify the emerging view that the current crop of leadership is ineffective and they should all be cleared out of office for new leaders to come in at the end of the day. Because there's a swing constituency, and we've seen both the former president and all the presidential aspirants on the ground campaigning. And so for them, it is very significant because, mind you, this is their seat. And so if they lose it, then it means that at the end of the day, it is not only that their numbers in parliament have declined, although the NDC have already secured supermajority.
That's right.
But you are not always going to get your members present in parliament all the time. Some may travel, some may, be at various kind of places. So they want more members. For the NDC, it is a very significant kind of thing. Because since the 1920s, 1930s, Akwatia has been the epicenter of Ghana's diamond industry. And so they cannot also afford to also be in government, having won this tsunami kind of vote, this landslide victory. Now they cannot afford to see Akwatia now being taken by the NPP. It may also be that for the NDC, Akwatia being a mining center, that's a diamond mining center, it may be a center where they will want to actually implement their flagship programs in terms of now rehabilitating the illegal mining industry
and then
fighting galamsey, and then not just that, but pushing a lot of resources to the people who want to leave the galamsey sector and say, look, we are here to help you, either with Nkokon Keten kind of project, or we are here to also help to revive the Ghana Consolidated Mining Limited to push you into legal kind of mining. And so it is very important for the NDC also to get someone who will be able to work with the local government, the district chief executive, to be able to craft and then implement appropriate development projects for the people out there. So for both parties,
it's really crucial.
It is not really about adding to the numbers in parliament, but the message and the significance that is sensed down there. Whether the current crop of MPP leaders are ineffective, so they should be kicked out, or whether for the NDC you can afford to put the epicenter of your diamond industry in the hands of someone who is in the opposition. At the end of the day, certainly what we know is that where you have a member of parliament from another party, usually they are not able to work very, very well with the certain district chief executive and then the members there. So it will be more important for them to have someone who can work with the certain chief executive to implement their flagship programs out there. I wish them the best.
That's interesting. Any final words?
Well, for final words, I would say that the police and the security agencies should make sure that peace prevails and that the elections will end peacefully, and for Akwatia actually to be a new Akwatia that is hailed not only for its shining diamond gems, but also as a beacon of hope for Ghana's democracy.
Doc, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
My guest has been Dr. Daniel Appiah, who is absolutely no stranger when it comes to this platform. I want to thank each and every one of you for making time to join us, especially all those who had the opportunity to send in messages, those that I've been able to read, and even those that I have not been able to read. I acknowledge all your messages and want to appreciate you for the time. Tomorrow is Akwatia. All roads lead to Akwatia. Tomorrow around this time, we'll surely know confidently who owns Akwatia. So we meet again next week, same time, My name is Emmanuel Wilson Jr., and all I can say for now is good night.